So who makes the better grip socks? Adidas or Nike? Let's find out. So first of all, let's look at the features of each sock. Starting off with the Nike Grip Vapor Strike. It has dry fit, which is Nike sweat wicking technology, targeted cushioning, and of course Nike Grip technology. Now probably the most unique thing about these socks is the fact that the anti-slip yarns are actually woven into the material of the sock itself. And the pattern of the anti-slip yarns is actually a 360 design, so you get that traction and improved lockdown along the entirety of your foot, not just underneath or on the soles of your feet. They don't have an anatomical fit, but based on wherever you feel slippage, so whether it's to the left or to the right, you can wear either sock on each foot because of the design on top of the anti-slip yarns. You can wear them like that to kind of counteract which direction you're feeling slippage. The anti-slip yarns actually also run up the heel, which you actually love to see as well with grip socks. And because of the fact that the anti-slip yarns actually woven into the material of the socks, you get that improved traction inside and outside the sock. The socks actually come in 3 different colors. You can get them in white like I have, you can get them in black, or you can get them in navy. And the socks themselves cost around £25. Now onto Adidas. The Adidas grip printed socks have heat ready technology, which is Adidas equivalent of like that sweat wicking technology to keep your feet cool. They have formation, which is this is another technology that Adidas have, which allows for the freedom of movement. They have an anatomical fit, so they'll fit left and right, and they have kind of, as you can see, these printed on silicone traction prints, which run along the bottom of your foot and as well up the heel again, which again you love to see. There's actually 2 versions of the sock, so you have the thin version and then you have the cushion version, and they come in 2 different colors. They come in white like I have, and they come in black as well, and they'll cost you around £22. So to get a good idea of how good the comfort is in each of the socks, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try the socks on with a range of boots from different brands, so Nike, New Balance, Skechers, Adidas and Puma. With the Nike grip socks, you get a very good level of comfort. The socks themselves wrap around your feet very well with no bunching whatsoever. The socks are on the very thin side, I'd say, but like maybe more to the side of like a normal football sock, but they still provide a good level of comfort across most brands. And I think the best way to summarize how these Nike grip socks feel on feet would be to say they feel like you're wearing a base layer on your feet. With the Adidas grip socks, again, the comfort is great in both the cushion and thin versions, and actually with the thin versions they're actually surprisingly plush. The fit of the socks is remarkable as they really hug and form to the shape of your feet very, very well. And again, with these socks, there's no bunching of material whatsoever. There is a tiny bit of pressure from the grip print, but it's not really off-putting at all. Overall, the comfort of these is still very, very good. Now, in terms of comfort, you have the 2 versions. With the Adidas one, you have the cushioned and you have the thin, compared to the Nike grip, which is always just thin. Now, even just comparing the thin ones, you can definitely feel there's a difference in the level of comfort, and the winner, just overall in terms of comfort, in my opinion, is the Adidas grip sock. On top of that, I'm also going to try the socks on to see which one's easier to get on wearing a mid-cut boot as well as a low-cut boot as well. With the mid-cut, I've got everyone's favourite boot, the Nike Phantom Lunar. And I'm actually going to do this in real time so you can actually see if there's any kind of real difficulty, because sometimes I usually like speed up the speed of the video, but like for here, just so you get a better idea of how difficult or easy it is to put on, I'm going to show you. So at this moment in time, I'm currently wearing the Adidas ones. So here we go. I'm going to try and be as consistent as I can between both cuts of boots. So here we got the Adidas one. And I'm also only going to try on the right foot. So yeah, not too bad, I'd say. Nothing crazy. Yeah, doesn't feel bad either. So yeah. So now I'm going to try the same with the Nike. And then for the low cut, I'm going to use the Phantom GX. So I've worn these already. Gonna see, no real issues putting them on. So yeah, pretty easy, nothing too crazy, even though it has the silicone rubbery bits on it, which usually get some difficulty with, but with these, nothing really. So Nike one is on, and like before, I'm going to put my boots on sitting down, so I'm trying to be consistent. So again, same boots, low cut Phantom GX, mid cut Lunar. So first off is the Lunar again. So Hello. Okay. Yeah. Maybe it's just me, but that felt a bit more difficult with the Nike grip sock. So yeah. GX. Yeah, no real difficulties. Again. Yeah. So as you can see, like similar in terms of difficulty to put on, but I'd say putting on the Adidas ones felt a bit easier. Maybe because of the mid cut, but I don't know why. Maybe because the Nike grip and the inner lining materials of each boot is a bit more cohesive with the Nike, because I know Nike use Nike grip in their boots, so maybe that's their kind of cohesiveness together. That's a bit too kind of, I don't know, Velcro-y for it, so it makes it a bit more difficult. But yeah, overall I felt easier to put on between the two boots for each sock was, oh, whatever makes sense, you know what I mean. Yeah, so the Adidas one was pretty much easier to put on. So the next test I'm going to do is my infamous insole test. So I'm basically going to slide around on a set of insoles wearing each of the socks. I'm going to see which one's more grippy to the insoles. So please do take this test with a pinch of salt. It's not scientific at all, but it's just to give you guys an idea of how good the grip is on each of the socks without putting a camera in my boots. I can't really do that. So this is the next best thing, I guess. But anyway, so here are the insoles. So from my left to my right, I've got New Balance, Puma, Adidas, Skechers, and Nike. So I'm only going to do this with my right foot because I'm right-footed, so I've got a bit more coordination with my right foot. So here, so I've got my Nike grip socks on my right foot first, so let's start. So out of all the insoles that we just tested, it works best with the Adidas insole, which is quite ironic. So yeah, so onto the Adidas grip socks next. So yeah, pretty awful showing from both socks, but I think maybe the Nike one just edges it. So when it comes to grip socks, the things I'm looking for in terms of product performance would be, number one, of course, is grip and lockdown. How much underfoot traction do they provide? Comfort as while you're playing. Is there a distractionless feel? Do you feel any kind of pressure points while you're playing, or from the silicone grips, if there are silicone grips to grip socks? Compression, all that kind of stuff, all incorporated into one while you're playing. So I've worn both these socks in actual games, as well as trying them out in isolated drills, and I'm going to share with you my synopsis on each sock. Now, when it comes to doing isolated drills and maybe trying to single out a certain aspect of product performance like lockdown, traction, whatever it is, so to do that, I did it in a pair of boots which I think are neutral, in the Puma Future Ultimates. which are also a boot which I do feel a bit of heel lift and foot slippage in. Now, when it came to the Nike Grip socks, there's definitely a improvement in performance as opposed to wearing normal football socks. The lockdown was improved, even though I still felt a little bit of heel lift while maybe taking a few steps at certain angles, but I wouldn't say it's to the point where it would distract me in a game. If it was a game, I probably wouldn't notice it too much. I'm not going to be adjusting my boots every now and again, but in terms of comfort, playing is pretty much like a almost distractionless and playing experience. You feel more stable as opposed to wearing normal football socks, and all in all, I think it's a very good product for what it does. Like I would say, the only thing, it's a bit on the thinner side, so I don't know, it can wear down after a while, but in terms of like product performance while you're playing, it does a great job, distractionless, and just lets you get on with your game. And you get a very similar experience with the Adidas Grip socks, but I'd say the Adidas Grip socks, the comfort level while you're playing as opposed to in the Nike Grip socks, you can see it's a bit higher in the Adidas Grip socks as opposed to the Nike ones. In terms of traction, they do, again, a very excellent job. I felt much less heel lift in these boots, no heel slippage whatsoever as well. The only other thing I would say about these boots, these socks should I say, is that you do feel the pressure from the silicone pads a bit. It was not to the point where like it's distracting you in your game or uncomfortable, but you do notice it. But like overall, the quality of the sock, I think, is still very, very good. So in terms of product performance, I'm going to give it to Adidas. Now, one of the biggest shortcomings of, I'd say, maybe 9 out of 10 grip socks is durability. If you use the same pair of grip socks constantly, so I don't know, if you train maybe more than 2 or 3 times a week, your grip socks aren't going to last as long as if you're someone who maybe plays once a week. And it's also a very important factor when you're considering buying socks, as you know, you want to get the best value for money. You want something that will last longer as opposed to something that's maybe it's good for a month or so. Now, I have had those Nike grip socks for a very long time. You can actually see them from maybe the initial parts of the video. They've held up pretty well, I'd say. They lasted me maybe, I don't wear them as much anymore. I've had to like sew them up a few times because, you know, like they get thinner and thinner because of all that kind of friction they've had to deal with. But they lasted me, I'd say, a decent amount of time. So maybe if you're buying grip socks, you'd always want to buy 2 pairs, one for training, one for matches. But that's besides the point. But overall, I'd say I'd be satisfied with the durability. However, when it comes to the Adidas grip socks, these ones are pretty much almost brand new, right? And even after one wear, actually no, with the thin ones in particularly, the silicone grips were already cracking and peeling off from me just putting on and taking off my boots. You know, so that's just, you know, that's not great a sign anyway. In terms of like, they're great for everything else, but in terms of like long-term durability, I don't think they'll last that long. It might be a case where after maybe 3 or 4 months, like all the grip pads are like peeled or cracked off, which is not ideal. So in terms of like just durability of the socks, on that alone, I'm gonna have to give it to Nike. And the final score is 3-2, meaning that our winner of this grip sock battle is the Adidas grip socks. Now, that being said, even though Adidas did come out on top, the fact that the durability is a bit lacking may raise a few eyebrows. And in terms of like overall performance between the two socks, there was not much in it. So you could go either way, but you know, in terms of like just facing facts based on what I've shown you, I would say the Adidas grip socks are better. Maybe with the 0.2 version, Adidas make a more kind of improvement with the silicone grips so they don't like flake off or crack after just taking off your boots. But yeah, it's up to you which one you get, but for me overall I would say the Adidas ones are better, but I wouldn't like, you know, knock you for getting the Nike ones instead. And that's been it for the video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you want to see more grip sock battles or grip sock reviews, boot reviews, whatever it is. If that's the case, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on all my socials, they're in the description. And like always, my name is Sub. This has been Substance Football. Thank you for watching. See you next time.